Brother Maynard, bring up the holy hand grenade. 1, 2, 5.
Freezer!
3.
Arm yourselves, America. This is Defenders Live.
Hey, here comes the danger up in this club. When we get started, man, we ain't gonna stop. We gonna turn it out till it gets too hot. Everybody sing, hey, tell 'em turn it out till they can't no more. Let's get this thing shaking like a disco ball. This is your last warning, I'm gonna see go. I am not afraid of the storm that comes my way. When it hits, it shakes.
So, we do have, I was expecting the sounder right away, but seeing as how we don't have it, we have, some very sad breaking news. This. This is a very sad moment, a very sad day. I know, it's okay. Steven's very tore up about this. It took a bit for him to even be consolable enough to be able to come alive on the air.
I think I'm okay.
You sure?
I'm good.
Are you still have the tissues and stuff? You all right?
I'm gonna sip my coffee and I'll be all right.
All right. So Andrew Yang,
The Yang.
we've lost him.
We've lost the Yang.
He's gone. He
The Yang is no more.
is no more. He is once a proud, beautiful light of hope is gone out today with the loss of Andrew Yang. As he's no longer running for president.
Right. So, there's Yang is pulling himself out.
Well, I mean, who better to pull himself out than Yang?
Exactly. He says, quote, "I'm a numbers guy."
Not a very good one.
Right. In most of these upcoming states, I'm not going to be at the threshold where I get delegates, which makes sticking around not necessarily helpful or productive in terms of furthering the goals of this campaign.
Well, I
Yeah?
mean, based off of being a numbers guy and blah, 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 that, is a smart move. He's done whatever. Well, I'm saying he's done whatever research he thinks he's done. He is convinced that he is not going to make it based off of current standings. Okay, and if you can somehow be able to tell that and all that, then kudos to you. Alrighty,
Sure.
job. But does it not sound like this is just a whiny kind of a pouty little, I'm going to take my ball and I'm going home, and is it just me? Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
I don't know, maybe. I mean, he did have this weird vibe going with him, like he was always playing the like 90s R&B Return of the Mac sort of sounders and songs when he came up on stage, but his message was actually pretty somber and like sad and
You mean
distraught
he didn't was?
and terrible. I mean, he even had followers that considered themselves the Yang Gang.
Wow. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. That I'm convinced. I was convinced from the beginning that this was the kid that played Data from the Goonies.
That might be.
When I first saw him, you know, that irritating little bastard from the first Indiana Jones. Dr.
Mr.
Jones!
Jones! Mr. Jones!
That's who I thought it was. Which would explain the whole playing the 90s music.
Yeah.
It's like, I like this stuff. So, but we've lost him.
Yeah, he's
Yep,
gone. He's no
Well,
more.
if I became persuaded that there's a particular candidate that gives us a superior chance of beating Donald Trump, and I think it's important to make that opinion known, then I would consider it for sure.
For sure.
For sure. That was whether he would endorse another candidate.
So what we're
not.
saying is, at this point, he is not endorsing anybody. He's just dropping out.
Again, I'm pouting, taking my ball and going home. You know,
Right. Yeah.
Which I'm not sorry to see him go. I
No?
no.
No, you didn't like his socialist bend? You didn't
No.
like his give everybody a minimum wage?
No. Because we kind of had this conversation today a little bit, and we'll dive into it more probably tomorrow. But yeah, the whole Mincome thing is not good because again, it has to come from somewhere.
Right. And that really is a problem when,
Yeah.
everybody's on the mincome.
Yeah. And if you're going to hand back people's money like that, then why not just stop taking taxes?
Right. Why not just stop funding yourself? Because at that point, that's what you're doing.
Yeah. That's all you're doing.
Mhm.
And but again, we'll dive more into that.
Yeah, and he says, quote, now 66% of Democrats support a UBI. That's the Universal Basic Income.
Oh, good. I thought that was
No,
I thought
no,
it was something that required cranberry juice.
venereal disease there.
Yeah.
It's got 72% of the young people ages 18 to 34.
Well, of course it does, because the younger generation is coming up right now is they don't want to work. They're being set up to be lazy beyond all recognition. And
Right, they're being told from their colleges and high schools and all the rest that they don't have to work for their money.
yeah, they don't work hard for the money.
That they don't work hard for the money. So hard for it, honey.
Don't call me honey.
I work hard for the money. So you better treat me right.
Audio.
Oh gosh, dude.
No, they get these kids are convinced that everything's going to come to them free and they don't need to work and blah 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 and no. That's not how it works at all. And because again, the money has to come from somewhere.
Right, it has to start somewhere.
You know, food doesn't just magically appear.
Well,
It does. No, it doesn't.
veggies technically do.
No, they don't, because in order for the veggies to be there, you have to properly take care of the land. You have to
Wild
till the
veggies.
soil, you have to plant the seeds. You have to,
I'm
ensure
saying-
that there's no weeds and.
Wild veggies and wild fruits, technically.
Oh yeah, but you're gonna run that gambit of getting something that.
Yeah, I
eating
I
something
understand.
Poisonous and.
Yeah, no. I'm there with you. I'm just saying, technically,
But even like I said,
it was all
even
created
that's
one
work.
time.
Yeah, even that's work though, because again, you have to find the stuff that isn't going to kill you, isn't going to make your bowels fall out your
Have
rear
to
end.
harvest it yourself, and
Yes, their work is
Mhm.
involved. You have to work, and it is a fact of life. And I don't care what kind of a weird utopian place that people think we're headed for.
Mhm.
Robots do everything and all that jazz. You're still going to have to work.
it's called the facts of life. The facts of life.
I haven't seen that show in so long. I want to say that like I'd seen a video at one point where it'd come up, and I'm like, oh,
No,
nope.
never mind. Quiet guy in the back over on the Twitters. The 12-year-old at Stephen Airy should still know how to be upset and pout about things. Hashtag arm yourselves at Dylan Lyles. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Mm-hmm. By the way, you
dog
can.
face pony soldier slug.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a mouthful.
That it is.
If we lost our yang, what are we supposed to do then with all this yen? I have yen.
Big Pharma Steve. Oh, Yang is out? Well, I hope he had the time of his life. Thank you.
See, I do. Going back to my joke. I have yen.
Mm.
I've got about
20?
I got about 40 or 50 yen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Mm.
Worth nothing. Most of them are in their equivalents of a nickel.
Yeah, I bet it's not. It's almost worthless, but whatever.
Well, yeah, no, but the only reason I kept them is because their 5 cent yen or their 5 yen piece is a little copper thing with this actually got a hole in the center of it.
Yeah.
Which are really cool to put on like string and stuff, and I like to play. I don't know why I like to play with it. So
Over on the Facebook, Evan says, "What? You can't just have taxes and income come out of thin air?"
I know it's weird. It's weird.
It's
but
crazy.
It just happens to
work that way. By the way, you can contact us on the Twitters, on the Facebooks, on pretty much all the social medias at DOAE Show. That's at DOAE Show.
Even our very own Dominic Izzo chiming in on the Twitters as well. Take the good, take the bad, take them both, and there you have the facts of life.
The facts of life. Thank you, Dom. Thank you. I knew I'd get somebody with that. I knew I'd get somebody.
I used to love watching that show and Silver Spoons.
I don't even remember Silver Spoons, dude.
Rick Schroeder is a rich little spoiled kid.
Oh, yeah. They started doing they did the other shows like Richie Rich and crap, kind of like spin outs from that kind of sort of thing. I gotcha.
Part of the opening credits was like he came riding in on a train through the house.
Yes, never mind. I do know what you're talking about. That was terrible. That's horrible.
It was. That one, and I tried watching. So there was a stretch there. I don't know if it's still on or not, but not Growing Pains. What was the one with Michael J. Fox? I can see the name.
I'm not the one for that one.
I'm trying to remember it. Where he's a Republican and the rest of the family are not.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
All of Reagan.
Yeah.
Damn it! I can see the name. I can't think of what it is.
Somebody's
gonna throw it at me and scream it here in a minute.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
But
you all know what he's talking about.
I started watching that. It was on Hulu very briefly for a while, and I tried watching. I made it to like 2 episodes. I'm like, oh, dear God,
that was terrible.
This is
horrible.
I mean, it was good. It was wholesome TV. It's stuff that they don't have anymore. But at the same time, like, that's not how that would really go.
That's really not how that conversation would ever go between those two factions or groups. By the way, I'm drinking the chocolate-covered strawberry coffee. Yes, over from APR Coffee. It was a very limited blend. Only 100 bags were made. I have bag 94, and I'm very happy about that. But, of course, this was to celebrate and to let you guys know about the Bells of Liberty. Bells of Liberty are Saturdays on Mojo 50, 2 p.m. Eastern. That's Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern, Mojo 50. Bells of Liberty, they are smart, witty, entertaining ladies. Much better than us. So much better than us.
Oh, by the way, it was Family Ties. Thank you to everybody over on the Facebooks.
There you go, Family Ties. That makes sense.
I got thrown out of like 3 different groups, and I knew between that and all the rest of the people, somebody would get it. So I knew it was Family Ties. I just couldn't.
Mm-hmm. You just couldn't remember it.
Because I can remember seeing it because we were stenciled in, and then it would color them in. I'm sorry.
Yes. Okay.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No problem. So don't forget to check out the Bells of Liberty over on Mojo 50 and also APR Coffee, where you can find them at AmericanPrideRoasters.com. That's AmericanPrideRoasters.com. They have so many flavors of coffee. I have yet to find one that I don't like.
Yeah, same. I have, and I have been doing a bit of what's the word I'm looking for here? A bit of a crusade, I guess. And not intentionally, but I have been kind of taking my APR that I have in my house and making a big old cup and just going places and be like, "Have you tried this?
So
Here, try this."
here,
And then,
try this coffee.
boom.
Where do you
Everybody-
get it?
Exactly. And it's like, well,
Let me tell you,
just this teeny little place called American Pride Roasters at AmericanPrideRoasters.com.
it's amazing.
It is amazing.
They also have teas.
They do have tea. For those of you who, oddly enough, for whatever reason, don't drink coffee,
But like hot tea,
yes.
they have the Boston Tea Party. Go check it out.
They
So,
also do chocolates.
mm-hmm.
Good chocolate.
Oh, the
Now's the time
chocolates
to
are
order it before summer gets here.
Yeah. Order it before it gets hot because those chocolates melt and then turn into a giant ball, which is still delicious.
It is still delicious, just a lot harder to eat. Because then
Yeah.
you look like,
You look like you've been eating things that you shouldn't.
well, that and when you're in the kitchen trying to smash and cut this thing open and stuff like that and break off pieces, you look like you kind of have an addiction.
To things that you shouldn't.
Yes, and
Like that black tar heron.
like the who?
Like that black tar heron.
Oh, the black tar heron.
Black
Yeah.
tar heron.
There you go.
That's right. So the Islamic world is in an outrage there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're normal, right? Come on. That's
I
not
was gonna say,
news.
I thought this was you were updating me on some news. Like that's not an update of anything.
Oh,
That's-
well, they're outraged about something specific.
Oh. Again, they have so many things that in their world they can choose from.
Ah.
What specifically do they have their bandanas in a tussle now?
Well, it's they're upset that a transgender activist has been posting photos of themselves at religious shrines while wearing a hijab.
I'm sorry. You said a transgender person
Transgender activist, yes.
is at
Islamic shrines around the world,
Mecca and things like that.
taking pictures of themselves at the shrines in a female garb.
So, I'm assuming are there pictures? Like I get.
I mean,
those
there are, but it's not really like. Once again, you're not really going to see much because what are you going to see? Maybe a face.
Oh, that's what I'm getting ready to ask. Like, so how then do you know that they're transgender?
Because
If
they're a
wearing-
trans.
They're wearing the garb.
How do you know that somebody? How do you know when somebody's a vegan? How do you know when somebody does CrossFit?
Because don't worry, they'll tell you.
Exactly. How do you know that somebody's transgendered?
Yeah, that's true. Don't worry, they'll tell you. But I would assume that in
It is, ma'am.
I have that.
I know.
It is ma'am.
Thank you.
I would assume though that that's probably not something you would want to. I don't know, be thrown around in the Islamic world anyway, because they're
Throwing around. I'm sorry. I almost missed
yeah,
that one.
sorry, yeah, thank you. They frown on that.
Yeah, they don't look kindly on things like this.
No. I mean, this is the same group of people that will very gladly throw a group of gay people off the top of a building.
Yes. So a 34-year-old.
Nothing
Oh no. Well, I mean, these people are crazy, but this one in particular is hilarious. 34-year-old Nur Sajat.
Hashtag nailed it. Hashtag like a native.
Thank you. Was born a male named Muhammad Sajad Karmajama.
Again, hashtag nailed it.
Thank you.
Hashtag native.
Thank you.
You sure you don't speak Arabic?
No, but
Sound like you lived there for a while.
thanks so much. I appreciate it. It's
Flawless
probably it's
accent.
probably the cold actually. It's but they angered Minnie when it says she, but it's not a she, so I'm using they because it's easier. When they wore a telekung, which is a prayer garment for females while participating in the Umrah, a religious pilgrimage to Mecca or Medina, sacred to Islamic State, Islamic sites in Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
Malaysia, Sajat is from Malaysia, which is a Muslim majority country. Now, the Malaysian Islamic Affairs Minister, Mujahid Yusuf.
God, you were on the point today.
Thanks. I just read that right now. That's crazy. Criticized the Instagram celebrity who has 1.6 million followers on popular social media sites. Quote, I will take firm steps over the action of Mohammed Sajad Karmazumar Zamar. They separated the words for some reason.
I was going to say, do you have something in your throat?
No, they actually separated the last name, who uploaded photos and video of him wearing women's prayer garments when in Mecca, which circulated widely on social media and led to discomfort among Muslims. That came from Yusuf.
Yeah, there's the Malaysias has a lot of the transgenders.
No.
You would be surprised.
No.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Say it ain't so, Timmy.
But it is so. There's a few. Yeah. You kind of go out in that general area. The Philippines is another one that I've frequented. Been there once. You almost can't throw a rock without hitting one, which is why they throw them. But it's just it's really weird to have. Like I understand technically what you're trying to do, but at the same time,
right?
You need to be reminded of what these people, especially in the Middle East, they'll kill you quick, fast, and in a hurry, and not think twice.
I mean, if you remind them as a guy of a girl that they once knew, it's not a good thing.
You saying that this guy looks like a boyfriend?
No, I'm saying that they're going to usher you off of a building pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, but I was saying it looked like a girlfriend that you had in February of last year.
Right. Yeah.
See, you can't.
It's not confidential.
These people are not above killing you, and they won't stop and go, well, how is this going to appear? Is this going to anger people? Is this da 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 da? Because Islam comes first,
above all for them,
above everything, and
for
they don't
them,
care
yes.
about global standings with anybody. They don't care about your 1.6 million followers. They don't give a flying fig. And I get the idea. I get the angle you're trying to come from. You're an activist. You're trying to change things and blah, blah, blah. And
changes.
Turn and face the strength. I get that, but this is not going to be something where you're going to die as a martyr and everybody's going to make this big deal and the changes come. Like, it's going to be, they'll kill you and tomorrow not even remember who you were, not even think twice about it. Like, it won't even phase them. You won't even be a blip on anybody's radar. You will fizzle out into existence and never be remembered again.
True enough. Speaking of fizzling out into existence, Dominic Izzo on the Twitter. I was a band called Stephen and the Malaysian Transgendered. It was a tribute band to Dave Matthews. We had 4 gigs.
I already played the trombone in that band.
Oh, I'm sure he was a tenor.
No, well, because Mama sang bass.
That's right.
That's how it always goes, man.
Oh, well, and with that, we're going to hit a commercial break. We'll be right back, folks. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Kari's gonna make it.
Boy, howdy.
Boy, howdy. Oh well.
We are carryless.
That's fine. Tuesdays without Kari. Oh, we have more breaking news. I'm gonna pull that up. Not whip that out. Pull it up. Come on.
Oh,
What?
speaking of something like that, I saw the most, I've never thought I would ever see something like this to say I could actually look at it and go, oh my God, that's not appropriate. I saw the most inappropriate Red Bull commercial yesterday.
Oh yeah.
So it was a picture of like this giant dog, like I'm assuming to be like a Great Dane,
Yeah.
walking with a bunch of like little basset hounds kind of things, like, very size difference.
Right. Huge difference.
Problem, and the way you could tell that this was the mother because they actually drew the teats on it,
Right.
which was awkward enough.
Yeah.
She's walking and she leads them to the basket, and here come the little puppies, and they hop in the basket and blah blah, and everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could tell that it's the dad because it looks just like the puppies but a little bit bigger. Walks by, and all of a sudden there's hearts around the bigger dog.
Right.
And he walks to his basket, grabs a Red Bull, and takes a swig of it, and he looks back over at the big dog, and his tail stands straight up. And then he sprouted wings.
Aw.
And I'm thinking, wow, that's a little bit forward, don't you think? Like,
Yeah, just a tiny bit. I mean,
wow.
just a little bit. It's okay. All right. So I got 2 new stories we can roll through while we wait for Kari if she comes in. Anyway, we're coming back from break. I think it's time we blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Welcome back, everybody. Defenders Live, Mojo50. Go to mojo50.com.
Yeah.
Got all the site over there, the other amazing hosts. They're way better than us. There's a reason why we round out the live shows at the end of the day, because
We come at the end for a reason.
well, that and they've put all the talent on the front end.
That's
'Cause most
right.
people by this point are like,
Whatever.
we're not listening to much of nothing. So
I mean, we are the dumpster fire.
we
Ooh.
are. Go to our website, doaeshow.com. Check out everything over there, all the archives, everything going to way back to when. Good stuff over there. You can pick up a shirt or two or whatever.
Yep.
Good
Yep.
time, great oldies.
100.7.
Yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, yeah. Follow us on all the social medias at DOAE Show.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, Twitter, MeWe is where we predominantly hang our hats and hang out all the time. Get on there, send us a tweet, send us a message on the Facebooks. Facebooks is a little bit harder to try and keep up with because of different groups we throw stuff into, but still, we try to read and catch up everything there. Twitter's a big one. MeWe's a big one.
All of it. All of it.
Is a big one. Check out everything because we like to engage with y'all.
Mm-hmm. We do indeed.
We do indeed.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Huh.
any news? What?
Looks like Kari's trying to come in.
I was going to say my camera blinked for a second, and I'm like, oh, everything changed. It must be Kari.
It must be Kari. But
By the way, those of you that are aware and long-time listeners know that Tuesdays we have Kari Melinak on with us, and unfortunately she's running a tad behind. So we're waiting for her to get situated and to pop back in. Oh, while we're waiting, Valentine's Day,
mm-hmm.
the 14th,
Yeah.
which is Friday.
Yes.
We are doing a 2-hour show.
We are doing a 2-hour show.
Very long 2-hour show where you can send in requests and dedications, and we will play the song of your choosing. It'll be like who did we say it was? Kind of like not a Dr. Laura, but Diana. What's her name? Diana, the lady that does the soft rock. your requests and dedication. Tell us about it, Marv. That kind of
That whole deal.
yeah, that kind of thing. So make sure you tune in starting at 9 p.m. Eastern on Mojo 50 on the iHeartRadios and everywhere you can find.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say a podcast, but by that point it's over with and it's not as fun.
It's not really a podcast at that point.
No.
Mm-mm,
But it's gonna be a fun time, good show.
Oh yeah.
You won't be disappointed.
Nope, not at all. Well, I'm trying to get Kari on. It's kind of kicking over and kicking her back out. So we're just gonna keep on trudging through here.
Daggone technologies.
Well, you like that stuff. So we do have some more breaking news, folks.
More breaking news.
More breaking news. I'm not gonna play the sounder this time.
Oh.
No sounder this time.
You can't say breaking news and then not do that.
All right, fine. We have more breaking news. In a stunning rebuke of two of the top-tier presidential candidates, neither Joe Biden nor Senator Elizabeth Warren have received enough votes in New Hampshire to obtain a primary delegate.
Aww.
NBC News projected that neither Joe Biden or Sanders would reach the 15% threshold to receive delegates, with about only 33% of the votes counted. That was early Tuesday.
It was sidebar real fast. I'm being informed that was Delilah. That was the name of the lady I'm looking for, not Diana. It was Delilah.
Delilah?
Yes. I will keep my source private as to who said that, because somebody's certain things may be called into question.
Really?
Because the follow-up text was #NoHomo.
Well.
So we're gonna leave.
Well then, we're just gonna leave that be.
Delilah. That's what we're gonna do the show about.
Delilah.
Anyway, but yeah, so that's sad. You mean the two crazy people that are openly adamant about taking one's guns from private citizens?
And the one that the one guy that wants to take all your guns, and the one person that can't stop lying about her heritage.
Yeah, I saw a great meme about that the other day, and it might have been put on Mojo's page too. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But it actually had that. It was something about she was making a statement, or had a little bubble, her saying about taking guns, and somebody was at the bottom of it said, for being someone who claims to be an Indian, you should know that's probably the worst thing you should be saying.
Yeah.
The last person who should be admitting to having guns taken away, because if you're really an Indian Native American, then you should know what happens when they took all the guns away.
Right, when they took all the weaponry away. That was not a good thing, not a good day at all. Kevin Hutchison over the MeWe says, Bernie Sanders has been elected. Best Larry David impersonator.
Look. There is not anybody on the left.
There is no one.
There is nobody. They're not going. It doesn't matter who the candidate is, who's going to win the primary. It doesn't matter. Because he's never going to make it. They're never going to be able to actually win and hold out against Trump. Which the part that scares me about that is that once Trump is gone, once he does his 8 years and he can't run anymore, we're not going to have, like, the right is not going to have anybody with near that kind of I don't want to use the word momentum, but
power.
Yeah, they're not going to have that kind of power behind them.
No, I mean, if you just, like, I understand their push for trying to get him out of office and all the rest of it, because they don't want to see 4 more years of America growing and all that, yada, yada, yada. Yep. But at the same point in time, if you guys just wait 4 years, unless it's a person, unless it is, I don't know, the current VP.
I don't even. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, let's be realistic. If Pence was running as president, would he actually be able to hold out? I don't think so.
I do, because he'd be able to pull through, Yeah, all the good things that we did with Trump, that's all stuff that I had a hand in. And by the way, I have none of the crappy impurities.
Maybe. He would be a big hit with, the evangelical side and a lot of,
Yep.
normal, regular, folks that aren't, hell bent on politics for, as the person. But at the same time, I don't think, sadly, the right is never going to have, to my knowledge, at this point, there's going to have anybody with that kind of that can not only have that kind of a sway and that kind of a push and everything, being, the famous, have the fame already. You know what I mean? That kind of stature to begin with. And then actually come out and be a decent president. You know what I mean? What's coming down the road after this, sadly, is you're going to have the left, who's going to be all but, actually, you might get straight up full-blown socialist communists in the White House by that point when the left takes over. And then when the right finally gets back to get into it, you might have somebody with fame and popularity behind them, but they're not going to be doing anything. They're literally just there because, I'm famous and I was able to ride those coattails in.
I was riding the waves.
I'm just playing a game. They're not going to actually do the job. They're not going to actually be a decent president at all. And
I don't
suffer. And
yeah, I don't think so. We've said this before. We don't like the way that Trump handles himself and handles his business.
Yeah, personally and
his personal life and his business, kind of not really the thing. But as a president, he has done well. Now, he has one big flaw in my book, and that is the freaking debt.
Yes, the man
running the debt up like crazy.
It's not something I'm a fan of.
No, but, not even a little bit.
But at the same time, he has done some really good things. He's made some stands, and he's used his I don't give an F bravado kind of stance to just kind of, and most of it is just to piss people off, I would argue.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
But he's used that to make stands on things like his stance with Israel and things like that, showing up to the right to life,
the actual right to life rally and speaking.
Yeah, like a lot of that is,
that's a good play. I got to tell you, that's a good play.
I completely agree, and I'm not saying that he doesn't agree with it. I assume that he does, but but a lot of what he does is. I mean, look at the man on Twitter. The man is a expert level troll.
Oh.
And he's good at it. And that's what he's doing with a lot of the stuff that he does. Now, granted, again, it's okay because we agree a lot of the things that he's doing with it.
He's trolling with a purpose.
Yes, he's trolling with a purpose, and a purpose that a lot of folks on the right can get behind. The problem with it is there's also precedent being set up. That the next ones are going to do the same thing, and it's a very dangerous way to play president, I would argue, because
I agree.
Like you said, you're going to start having folks that
celebrity
come in, they're just going to play to the crowd, and it's going to become literally a show. And the problem with that is nothing gets fixed, and eventually we end up like Venezuela.
Yeah, I mean, when all the world is a stage.
Well, when is all the world a stage?
Soon, actually. Very, very soon.
Like right now.
Big Pharma Steve giving us 2 things over on the Twitter. Dylan, you mean you weren't referring to Dr. Ruth?
I can't believe she's still alive.
I know, right? And then also, while I agree that Pence would probably be awesome as president, I also agree that I don't think we have anyone to follow up Trump with the same charisma.
No, thank you. That was the word I was looking for, charisma. The man came in with a huge splash. And God, there's so many bells there. I mean, he did. Like this was he straight up cannonballed into the pool and has been made the biggest splash and the biggest ruckus and has caused the most. I would argue with it, and I say it. I agree with it. I think actually he's one of the most controversial of presidents, and because a lot of what he does is because I'm going to do this because it makes the waves.
Because.
Yeah, not because it's right or not because I agree with it. No, though some of it, and I would agree, probably a lot of it is. There is also that little extra. It's like people that put salt on every dish, no matter what.
It's like, that's a really salty dish. Yeah, I know, salt.
Yes, you're doing it anyway, just because
It's normal. It's your habit.
yes, and like I said, it doesn't take away from the good things he does. It doesn't mean that it's any less good. It's just when you have that kind of oomph behind you, that charisma behind you while you're doing it, you're setting the bar really high for anybody else to follow behind you. I really cannot think of anybody at all
with that sort
could
of
run again on either side that would ever be able to match that. And it's going to be.
I think after this, what I really think is going to happen is I think you can have one of two things. So you're either going to have like literally a complete deadpan person,
which look compared
zero
to
controversy,
Trump,
zero anything, just straight
compared
like
to Trump though. I think anybody that comes in is going to be a deadpan, like just straight comparison level. You're going to be hard pressed to find people to match him in any of that.
Oh yeah, no, I'm talking about like this person isn't even going to try to have any sort of charisma. They're not going to be charismatic at all. They're going to be Calvin Coolidge. They're going to be, the driest, most facts-oriented person known to man.
And I mean this in the nicest of ways, but he will be Pence.
That is
Pence.
Pence.
He comes in, he does the job he's after for the job. He does it for the right reasons. It's all about, taking it all seriously. No, don't make waves. Let's just do what's right because it's right, and that's it.
Let's get it done.
Yeah, and stand by your beliefs and your core, but at the same time, you follow through in what you say you're going to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what's coming.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? The upside to that, though, I think, is that once Trump is gone, because I am convinced he's going to get reelected next go around, unless some weird thing happens.
There's literally there's like maybe 1% chance that he doesn't now.
Yeah, at this point, he's up for reelection. He'll win the election again.
Yeah.
So when he's done and he cannot run anymore, and he goes away, the upside to that is all these people who are only chasing politics because of names.
Yeah,
I think start to disappear.
Mm-hmm. Because this is what happens when you chase the name.
And then hopefully we can start getting back to a spot where people are actually paying attention based off of policy and based off of the good of the country and not off of, well, I recognize his. I mean, that's always going to be there. But,
Yeah, obviously, because not everybody's going to ever pay attention, but you hopefully we find more. We find more people paying attention to policy and ethic and that sort of basis. You had Barack Obama, and he was the great new hope. And then you got Trump because you had the great new hope. The man that was the most charismatic person in front of a teleprompter that you could ever imagine.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the other guy who is the most charismatic freestyle speaker you can ever imagine.
Yep.
Off the cuff, everything out of the way, full charismatic, full self. That's what you get. When you swing that hard one way, you get the swing the exact same in the other direction.
Yeah.
We got Trump because we had Obama.
Yep.
And Democrats need to understand that. The reason why we got Trump is because we got Obama. Now, if you would like to lessen the swing a little bit, stop going so communist.
Well, I was going to say the thing about it is it's just like a pendulum. And I hate sounding like I'm taking this stuff away, but it is. When that thing swings, it swings back, and it's picking up momentum, and it's just going to swing further and further to the extremes
until somebody grabs it and stops it.
Yeah, and stops it. And God help you when that thing stops,
because it's going to be hell.
Yeah, whoever's hands it in, whether you agree with them or not, it's not going to bode well for anybody.
Nope, nobody is going to be happy when that pendulum stops swinging. But you know what does make people happy?
What's that?
Keeping cold things cold and hot things hot.
How would you do that exactly?
I'd go to cat coolers to do that.
Cat coolers, you say?
Yeah, cat coolers. See, these things are incredibly rugged.
Are they?
Mhm,
I
they-
heard they're rugged.
They are. They keep your ice cold for up to 7 days.
Because they're rugged.
Yeah, they're also made in the United States.
Because that's what makes them rugged.
Yes, and they're fully customizable.
But wait! There's more!
There is more. If you go to catcoolers.com, go to catcoolers.com, use my name, Steven, Steven. You can get 10% off when you purchase anything from the Cat Coolers website. That's catcoolers.com. Steven is the promo code, Steven, gets you 10% off. Did I mention that they have a lifetime warranty because of how rugged they are?
You did just now.
Good. Just want to make sure. Catcoolers.com, promo code Steven, gets you 10% off.
Cat coolers.
Catcoolers.com.
Go to cat coolers.
Yeah, that thing.
Cat
So, speaking of UBIs,
Again, that sounds like something you need to be drinking cranberry juice for.
I know. A new study finds that giving every American $12,000 a year in free money could grow the economy by $2.5 trillion.
Yeah. No.
Right?
No. No, it won't.
But a study found. It's a study.
Yeah, this was the one we were saving for tomorrow until excuse me, Kari unfortunately not being able to make it in.
Yeah, right.
So that there's no way. There is no way.
Right.
And if you were even remotely able to make that bump a reality, it would be temporary.
Incredibly temporary because you'd run out of money.
Mm-hmm.
See, a monthly check of $1,000 delivered to every American adult would grow the U.S. economy roughly by $2.5 trillion over 8 years, says a new study. Conducted by the left-leaning Roosevelt Institute, the study investigates 3 strategies for implementing basic income, a form of wealth distribution that involves giving everyone a standard salary just for being alive.
That's so, see, no. You get out and you work, and there's always something to do. If you're going to, all right, for starters, and we're going to back this up a little bit. If you're
Sure.
going to give people back money, air quotes, give them money, then how about stop taxing people out the nose?
Well, the standard deduction is roughly $12,000 for a basic income.
Yeah,
So,
just saying.
like the start of a standard deduction is like $12,000 for an individual.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, why don't we just not tax our income?
Because there was a point where,
We
where
didn't.
was it? There was a stretch there, and not overly long ago,
It was
where
before 1920,
people kept
all their money.
100% of their income.
Yeah, the only
we
time they
still
paid
had-
taxes was when they bought something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and through that, we were able to still have a fully functioning military, which, by the way, won World War II.
Isn't that
Saying.
funny? Well, I will say this: that military technically was funded by income taxes.
No, yeah, that's true. Eventually, it was.
No,
But
that in particular, that one in particular was funded by income taxes.
World War. I was thinking World War One.
Also technically won by income taxes.
No, I thought it didn't.
No,
When did?
no.
No, you're right. Because
What they did, they used the war as a reason to tax the rich up to 90% of their income.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot my brain's not working.
Yeah,
But still,
for
there
like
was a
2
stretch-
years.
There was a point where they kept all of their money. We still had schools still functioned.
Yep.
Military still functioned. They still had fire. They still had police. They still had all of the amenities that everybody has now.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is also back then, people they provided for themselves.
No.
They were responsible for themselves. They had their land, they had their crops that they took care of, and occasionally they did go and buy stuff. But mostly, they were self-sufficient. They grew their own crops. They, hunted their own meat. And again, some stuff they would go and buy. Not saying it was all of it. But the world functioned, the America functioned and functioned well when everyone had all of their own money that they earned. And like you said, other than paying a tax when they bought something.
So they have 3 different things, right? So they're going through 3 different types. The first one was $1,000 monthly to all adults. The second one was $500 monthly to every adult. And then the third one was paying $250 monthly to everyone, including children.
Children?
Children.
So now that we're giving the government is going to give allowance to children.
$250 worth a month, yeah.
It's more than I ever got. Yeah,
I know, right? The 3 basic incomes are basically, enacting the UBI and paying for it by increasing the federal debt which would grow the economy supposedly somehow. Allegedly. They would grow the federal debt, which means they would surpass the current debt limit and grow the debt even more, which isn't actually paying for it. It's just pushing the can down the road, which means they don't actually have a way to pay for this, but they want to give a bunch of people money and print it out.
Again, we don't have anything. We're not on the gold standard. We don't have anything to actually back up the money that's being printed.
Right.
And all they're talking about doing is just taking paper
and making more
and making money. That causes inflation. That's when you become Venezuela, where you walk around with wheelbarrows of money and you can't even find a dog to shoot in the street to have for food.
Because you've already eaten the other dogs and cats and mice.
And people think this is a good idea.
Some people do, yes. They're morons, and they consider themselves intelligent folks.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again probably till the day I die. This is just proof that there comes a point where you can actually become so smart that you're stupid.
Yeah, that you become a moron.
Intellect is circular if you're not careful.
Yeah, if you have so much, you get so much of the book smarts that you forget common sense.
Yes.
And by common sense, we mean the real truth to common sense, the reality of how things interact with each other, not just, you need to have common sense. No. You understand that to give something away, it has to come from somewhere else.
Yes.
For anything to be of value, it has to have a basis in reality.
And these folks do not have the slightest bit of basis in reality.
Exactly. So they obviously don't have that. And because they don't have that basis in reality, they can't understand the idea of value.
Nope.
Which is why they think that they should be able to make millions of dollars for doing nothing.
It's incredible. It really is. That, like I said, these people think that this is going to work. It's not. It's going to end horribly.
It really is. It's not going to be good at all.
And I'm just, y'all better hold on tight. You better start. Learn. If you don't know how to can food, maybe that might be something you might want to look into doing. If you don't have a garden,
if anybody out there is actually getting taxes back, use it to go buy a freeze dryer.
There you go.
Harvest Right, they're a great company. Chris over on the MeWe says allowances to children, money to liberals, same thing.
You're right.
You are right. Anyway, folks,
that's true.
Let's get to that bell count.
Good evening, Mojo 50.
I'm Leprechaun, and here with your bell count grade for the day, Tuesday, February 11th, 2020. Today we had 17 missed innuendo bells, 58 actual bells, 4 rim shots, 1 horn, 2 oh my gosh, and 2 AI triggers, giving us an A for the day. Peace out and good night, y'all.
What? Did that what you think?
Yes, we triggered you twice yesterday. That was awesome. It's all right. Anyway, go to doaeshow.com, doaeshow.com. Go to mojo50.com. Check out all the stuff there. We'll see you tomorrow night, folks. Later.
That was wonderful. Bravo. I loved that. Oh, it was great. Well, it was pretty good. Well, it wasn't bad. Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good. It could have been a lot better. I didn't really like